Welcome back to another episode of the High Value Agent Podcast, where we inspire people to create a better life through real estate. And I got to talk to my people out there. Are you someone who is done playing small and you're ready to operate the highest level? If that is you, okay, we're going to get into something today that every agent needs to hear. Whether you're a brand new agent or you've been doing this for a while, this is very important. And we're going to talk about mindset, but not in the way that you've heard it before. Because today I'm going to tell you why everything you've been taught, everything that you know up to this point about mindset is backwards. Okay. So let's get into it. Let's talk about, let me ask you something. So, how many times have you told yourself that, you know what, I'll make those calls when I feel more confident as to what to say on the call? Or, you know what, I'm going to go after those luxury listings or those higher price point properties or listings when I feel ready. Or I'll put myself out there more through my marketing once I get my mindset right. Now, if you're being honest, you probably have went through that type of process more than once. And here's the problem. That feeling that you're waiting for, it doesn't come first. Okay? It doesn't come first. And here's the thing. It never will. The agents who are out there crushing it right now, they didn't wait for anything to give them permission to go out there and crush. So today we're going to flip the script on how we think about mindset and taking action. Because trust me, once you're able to get this to click, it's going to change how you show up in your business. Heck, it's going to change how you show up in your life forever. Okay. So let's get into it. And y'all, we got it backwards. Most people, and not just agents, let's just talk about the human experience. We believe that we have to get things right, have the right mindset, and then we take action. Like we got to have the belief first and then go do the thing. That's not how the brain actually works. The truth is, action comes first. And through your action, you're able to build the mindset. Okay. You don't think your way into a new way of operating, right? You take the action that builds or gets you to that point. The mindset is just a result of the work. Okay. It's not the prerequisite. It's not the intro that like the mindset comes later. Think about it this way. You don't become a confident listing agent by sitting at home and just visualizing you being someone who takes listings. You don't become confident as a listing agent by sitting there and hoping in or just waiting to one day be a high value listing agent. You actually become confident in doing the thing, and then you're stacking undeniable evidence every single time through the reps to where you have a mountain of evidence that proves you are who you say you are. And this is very important, right? Every time you do something that is challenging or um, uncomfortable, you actually send a signal to your brain. And that signal like is I am someone who actually does this thing that is challenging and uncomfortable. And over time, that signal actually becomes your new identity. Now, this isn't, listen, I'm not trying to bring a motivational talk or anything like that. Like, this is the science behind it. Like this is real philosophy and neuroscience. Aristotle, if you know who that is, over 2,000 years ago, called this habituation. And his idea was very simple. We become what we repeatedly do, not what we repeatedly think about doing, not what we repeatedly intend to do, not what we repeatedly hope to do. It's what we actually do and consistently over time. And so like if you look at modern neuroscience, it actually backs this up, okay? Like think about it. When you take let's see if there we go. I think we're back. We're back. Um we're gonna obviously not edit that out. That's the beauty of being real and authentic, right? My mic just went out. I just got a thing that popped up on the screen saying your mic is out. But we're back in it. So let's go. So when we talk about modern neuroscience and how it backs it up, right? When you take a new action repeatedly, your brain physically, it rewires itself around that new or around that behavior, whether it's new or old or whatever behavior it is for you. Like the neural or the neural pathways actually start to form. Okay. And those beliefs or the new belief now creates a new identity. And that is what emerges. So that's why, like a real estate agent who would force themselves to make cold calls every single day or every single morning, even when they dread it, they eventually become someone who identifies I am an agent who makes cold calls. They identify as that agent, and they start to not dread it anymore, right? They are literally reshaping their mindset. Think about that. Think about that, right? Right. Like when you want to become a high value agent, you identify what a high value agent does on a daily basis. You do those activities, and now you identify as a high value agent. I had this conversation with my two older boys because they play basketball, and I asked them. Right now, we're watching March Madness. There's a lot of basketball, college basketball that a lot of people are watching, right? And my boys, they love the game and they play it at a high level and they keep working. They're working real hard. And I asked them, I was like, "Do you want to play college basketball?" They both said yes. We want to play college ball. I asked them, "Where do you want to play?" They both said high major Division 1 schools. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you. High major Division 1 schools. And we're talking about, I mean, 1% of the total, 1 to 3%, I think, in that range. I think it's like 3%. 3% of the entire high school population actually goes to play college sports. And that's including D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, all of it. Okay. Like 3% of the entire high school population graduates from high school and goes on to continue their sport at a collegiate level. And so it's not easy to get there. And so I asked my boys, I said, you want to be a starting point guard on a high major Division 1 school. I want you to think about what a high major Division 1 point guard, you being that point guard years from now, what would that person do on a daily basis? How would they perform in the game? What are some of the the actions or the things that they would do, big or small, to help move their team forward to winning the game. How would they communicate with their coach? How would they communicate with their teammates? Would they stay up all night and play video games, or would they take care of their bodies and go to bed at a decent time so they're getting ample amount of sleep? What would they eat? How would they think? How would they talk? And I sat there with them and we discussed that. And I had them tell me, here's kind of the common things that they were saying: positive attitude, great leader, worked very, very, very hard, defended very aggressively, had an high IQ, so they would watch game film consistently. They would be coachable. They would be great teammates and supportive to their teammates. They would work very hard in trainings and practice, being the hardest working player on the court. This is what they told me. And so I said, well, listen, if you want to be that type of player, you need to do everything you told me that the future you that's elite would do. Start doing it now. And what happens is it's hard, yes, but you eventually identify as that elite player. And then guess what happens? It all becomes just the way you are. It's the way of life now for you, not the other way around. Okay. So going back to us as real estate agents, because maybe you are an athlete and you're listening to this, or maybe you're a young athlete, maybe you're an older athlete. But I'm gonna talk to my agents. Let's bring it back to real estate. What does this look like practically, right, for us? It means number one, you stop waiting to feel ready before you actually take the action. Um, you take the action and then you build conviction, right? It means you stop waiting to feel feel confident before you go after bigger price points. You go after them first, and then the confidence is built based on the reps that you're getting in the field, not in your head. Okay. It means you're, despite being scared to make the phone call, to make your prospecting calls, to make that, to send out those text messages or emails, maybe knocking on the door, maybe you door knock, right? You do it anyways. Not because you feel ready, but because you know that doing this is how you get ready. If you're a high value agent, listen, we don't wait for the mindset to come. The high value agent builds the mindset through doing the thing, through the work, through the reps. Okay. So I'm gonna here's something I got for you. Here's what I want to leave with you guys today. And what I want you guys to actually do. Think about one thing in your business that you've been putting off because maybe you don't feel ready. Maybe it's the market you've been wanting to break into. Maybe it's the price point, like I mentioned before. Maybe it's calling for sub owners. Maybe it's calling expires. Maybe it's door knocking that neighborhood that you, maybe even a neighborhood that you live in, right? Oh, I don't want to feel judged. Blah 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 blah. Right? Maybe when I have a few more listings in my own neighborhood, then maybe at that point, nope. I want you to, whatever it is, I want you to write it down. And this week, before you feel ready, I want you to take one step forward towards doing it. Just one. Make the call, send the email, door knock one, two, just door knock one home, call one FISBO, whatever it is, just take one step forward. And then notice what happens to you after. Notice how you see yourself after. Number one, you're going to be like, oh man, I'm still alive. That didn't kill me, right? But number two, you're going to feel good about yourself. That momentum, that's the shift. That feeling right there of, man, I did something that was hard. I did something that just yesterday I told myself I couldn't do. And I did it. That's the shift. That is how all this works. And then you're going to keep doing it so you can act your way into becoming the agent that you're trying to become. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to wrap it up. We'll put a bow on this one. I hope this hits home for you. And if it did, I want to ask a favor. Share this with an agent, somebody you know. And again, this can be applied to life, right? Share this with an agent, share this with somebody that you know who needs to hear it. Okay. As always, leave a review if we're bringing value, obviously to your business, to your life. That's my number one commitment is to just give back, support every one of you guys. We're a community, so we just want to keep bringing what's working, actually working, and the challenges that we're going through, right, collectively as a community, and then things we're overcoming. I want to continue to bring that forward. We're all in this together. Okay. Um, and remember, you're not going to think your way into becoming a high value agent or becoming the agent that earns the income that you desire. You're not going to think your way there. You have to act your way there. The mindset follows the motion every single time, period. All right, y'all. Be strong. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.